Senator Abdullahi Adamu resigns as APC national chairman. Civil defense arrests 2 suspects with fake dollars in Jigawa State. Fire razes hundreds of homes in Durban, South Africa. Of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 17th July 2023. I am Salamatu Nuhu Dalliman with the news in full. The Vice President Kashim Shettima has sought the support of Nigerians for the federal government's soon-to-be unveiled solution to the raging crisis in the northwest. News Agency of Nigeria reports that the zone has been battling with increased banditry that has cost hundreds of lives and displaced thousands more, with many stakeholders already advocating for a different approach to the government's military strategy to the crisis. But the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Taurid Lagbaja, reportedly kicked against amnesty program for bandits and terrorists in the country last week, saying rather than repent, beneficiaries of such programs see the program as an avenue to regroup and attack innocent citizens. But speaking in Kano yesterday, the Vice President said the President Bola Tinubu is determined to redefine the meaning and concept of modern governance. He said there cannot be a military solution to the crisis in the northwest. The national chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, tendered his resignation last night. Credible sources confirmed to this paper that Adamu, who emerged as the national chairman at the party's national convention held in March 2022, has sent his resignation letter to the presidential villa, Abuja, ahead of the return of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the African Union meeting in Kenya. One of the sources said Adamu, a former governor of Nasarawa State, sent a resignation letter to the Chief of Staff of the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, around 4 p.m. yesterday. A source close to Adamu said the national chairman resigned following a gang-up by people around the President to embrace him during the meeting of the party slated for tomorrow and Wednesday. The sources, however, denied the report that it was President Tinubu that asked Adamu to resign ahead of the National Caucus and National Executive Committee meeting of the party slated for tomorrow and Wednesday. The party had fixed 10th July and 11 for its National Caucus and National Executive Council meeting to iron out critical issues affecting it and the crisis within the National Working Committee. The Senate has denied appropriating 70 billion naira for the National Assembly, saying the passage of the Supplementary Appropriation Act was part of the constitutional duties. A statement by the chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Yemi Adaramodu, yesterday said the passage was to accommodate funding for the federal government's palliative for the Nigerian public, among other national demands. Mr. Adaramodu stressed that a visit to the suits, offices, and the general structures of the National Assembly complex will reveal a need for urgent attention. He further said many senators had to bring their chairs, tables, and electronics, and in many cases do sundry repairs. Bureau de change operators in Lagos, Abuja, and Kano have been experiencing mixed fortunes owing to the recent forex unification policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The CBN had on 14th June 2023 announced the unification of all segments of the foreign exchange market and the naira. Checks by News Agency of Nigeria NAN showed that on Friday, the dollar closed at 803.90 naira on the investors and exporters A&E window. At the parallel market, it was exchanged for between 825 naira and 830 naira in Lagos on Saturday. In Abuja, it was sold between 810 naira and 812 naira, while in Kano, it was exchanged for 820 naira at the weekend. It will be recalled that a day before the announcement, the official rate was 463 naira per USD and 750 naira at the parallel market, which inferred about a 62% premium to the official rate. Operatives of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Jigawa State Command, have arrested 2 suspects over possession of counterfeit United States dollars worth 30,900 The spokesperson of the command, CSC, Adamu, said this while parading the suspects yesterday at the command's headquarters, Dutse, the state capital. The suspect at 25 years, Aladi Umar of Tashar Musawa, Zaria local government area, Kaduna State, and 35 years, Abdulrahman Khalid. According to him, the suspects were arrested when one Aladi Umar lodged a complaint that one Abdulrahman Khalid deceived and defrauded him by linking him up with one Malam who collected the sum of 147,500 naira to provide him with a local charm. He said the latter owned up to the allegation but claimed that Aladi met him with fake foreign currency and asked him how to spend it without any hitch, which he told him that he knew one Malam Haruna who lives in Guru, Yobe State, that will help him turn the fake foreign currency into Guinean cash. The news is coming to you from the studios of Sawaba Radio. One is after the short break. Stay tuned. Hadejia. Farmers in Borno State have resorted to special prayers over imminent drought due to lack of steady rainfall. News Agency of Nigeria reports that the farmers, mostly in northern and central parts of the state affected by the development, have resorted to prayers seeking for divine intervention. Many farmers in Maiduguri Metropolitan, Jere, Kunduga, Kaga, and Mafa local government areas said the development was disturbing and needed prayers. Many farmers who also spoke on the disturbing development said they have resorted to prayers. Meanwhile, the Borno Emirate Council has started mobilizing the public for special prayers for rain. A statement from the Sheikh of Borno, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Garbai El Kanami, urged Muslims to converge at Ramat Square, Maiduguri today for the prayers. The Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III, yesterday directed Muslims to look out for the new moon of Muharram from today. The Sultan, who is also the President General, Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, gave the directive in a statement issued by the Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Sokoto. The Sultan prayed Allah to help all Muslims in the discharge of their religious duties. News Agency of Nigeria report that Muharram is the first month of the Islamic calendar and identified as one of the 4 sacred months of the year. Now to international scene. The European Union has signed a partnership deal with Tunisia's President Kais Saied, partly aimed at combating people trafficking. Tunisia has become the main departure point for migrants trying to cross the Mediterranean to Europe. Announcing the deal in Tunis, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen promised increased cooperation on border management and search and rescue operations. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni said it was an important step towards creating a true partnership in tackling what she called the migration crisis. Members of the European Parliament have called for the deal to be constitutional on respect for democracy and the rule of law in Tunisia. President Saied dissolved parliament in 2021 and has rewritten the constitution. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed by a fire in a poor neighborhood of the South African port city of Durban. One person is known to have died in the blaze that tore through the Kennedy Road informal settlement early yesterday morning, but there are fears that more bodies could be found. Video footage shows the twisted remains of corrugated iron sheets used to build the shacks amid the smoldering debris. People can be seen trying to salvage their belongings. The cause of the fire is not yet known. However, some eyewitnesses said it started when 2 people have been drinking got into an argument. A South African Red Cross spokesman described it as a disaster and estimated that about 1,000 shacks may have been destroyed, leaving some 3,000 people homeless. That has been the news. Before I go, a recap of the major stories. From the news warhead, Senator Abdullahi Adamu resigns as APC national chairman. Civil Defense arrests 2 suspects with fake dollars in Jigawa State. On the international scene, fire razes hundreds of homes in Durban, South Africa. That has been the news on behalf of the news department. Our editor, Mohammed Suleiman Yobi, our content announcer, Halima Hassan Ibrahim. I am Salamatu Nuhu Dalliman saying good afternoon.